Howdy, folks, and welcome back to another episode of the Chaser Chat podcast. I am Gabriel Harber, and I am joined by my good friend and fellow Ohio Storm Chaser, Miss Rosie Vortex. Rosie, how you doing?
Hi. Hi.
How's everything
How
going
are
there in Eastern Ohio?
Oh, it's the usual boring. Literally, it's so boring. It's not
You've been
bad.
out
How are
hunting
you
lately,
though?
though. You've been out hunting, right?
Yeah. I've yeah, of course. We just started, the season just started, so it's slow right now, but it'll pick up. It's been so warm.
Did the deer not like the heat or something?
They just move a lot more in the winter to stay warm, and they're easier to see because of the snow. And then rut,
Hmm.
they start mating and they go more crazy in the winter.
I was just wondering because, like deer, I am also a large, hairy animal. And I know that
Mhm.
whenever it is warm outside, probably for reasons other than the deer, I don't like moving either. So the colder it gets, the more active I also get. Although that's not like when I start rutting or anything, so you don't need to worry about that.
Hairy animal. So you relate to
So
the deer.
I do. I very much relate to the plight of the deer, just coming at it from a slightly different angle. So, Rosie, you and I are here today for a very specific reason. We are, of course, good friends off of Twitter, off of storm chasing, all that other jazz. And we were playing around. Gosh, it was probably like at least 6 months ago, maybe as long as a year ago. I forget exactly when it was, but there's this AI generating music app called Suno, Suno. And I should probably say this up front. This is not a sponsored podcast. Nobody's paying us to talk about this app. You and I were just absolutely tickled pink when we were playing with it because it's so freaking funny.
It's
And
hilarious.
yeah, it really is. And so we were like, this has to be a Chaser Chat episode at some point. For those of you who have been following along with the podcast or with me on Twitter, the last like 7, 8, 9 months have been probably the busiest of my entire life. So we kept having to delay the podcast, but we are finally here. We're going to play DJ for you for the next 10, 15 minutes or so. And we've got some really fun, funny stuff that we want to share. So I think we'll just do a back and forth style format. You and I have both picked out a couple of songs, and then we have a bonus at the end that I think people are going to think is really funny as well. So the first one that I'm going to introduce here, and it has to be the first one because it's a serenade. My hero in the storm chasing slash meteorology space, Cameron Nixon. You could almost call it like a ballad of sorts. And it's titled Oh Hodograph. What were your thoughts on this one, Rosie?
It was good. I was like when you told me about it or whatever, I wasn't expecting it, but it's a banger.
It is a banger, right? Like
Yeah, like
I
it
don't know exactly
flows.
what genre.
I don't. It's like I don't know. Does remind me of a band, but I cannot think of it. It's like rock, but maybe like older style, if that makes sense.
And that's like the interesting thing about Suno, right? The way that AI works is it's not copying any one band. It's taking a composite of this huge repository of music from the past that's been fed into it. And then it comes up with an approximation of what it thinks a band making music in this style about this topic would sound like. So it's really, if it wasn't so damn fun, you could almost say it's creepy.
It's really, and I could literally be on there for hours. It's so funny. The stuff that it comes up with is great.
I think you and I were on there for hours at first. These songs we're about to share, because we didn't want to have a 3 hour long episode, represent the ones that we thought were the funniest for whatever reason. But yeah, you can definitely get lost in that particular app if you want to spend a couple of hours. It goes by really fast.
Yeah, we went on for like hours for a few days, actually.
All right. So the first song here for all of you to listen to is Oh Hodograph. We will see you back on the other side.
In the world of meteorology, there's a tool we use to understand the winds and how they choose. It's called a hodograph, a graph in polar form, showing wind speed and direction. It's the norm. Oh, hodograph, you guide us through the skies. With your lines and circles, you make us wise. You show us the patterns, the twists
Yeah, that one, I don't really know exactly like who to make a comparison to, but I feel like at the beginning, the voice at least reminds me of the lead singer from The National.
I have a band in my head and I can't think of it. Is that the first one you ever made song?
I think it is. I can't remember exactly, but no, actually, I think the bonus one at the end, because I think the whole reason I even pulled up this app is because you and I were talking about, I'm going to save that for the end, but this was one of the first ones that I created.
Okay. Makes sense. I thought so, 'cause I think it was like one, I think it might be the, oh, so you made it after that. Okay, I get it now. I think they did good on that.
Yep, I think they did good as well. So, what is the first one you want to introduce to us? You got a couple bangers sitting over there.
All right, let's go with the Ohio one.
Before the Storm.
Yeah. This one is just about living in specifically Eastern Ohio, even though it didn't say Eastern Ohio. It's just about like how boring the weather is whenever you're like a severe weather chaser or enthusiast and you live here, and it's just, yeah, you'll get it when you hear it.
And the funny thing is, I can attest to the fact that it does get boring for weather out there because you have learned to get by with whatever the atmosphere gives you. You are just, you'll send me a message and you'll be like, look at this sunset or look at this really cool rain cloud. And not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but it's just funny to me because it's, yeah, she definitely is fiending for some storms and she'll take whatever she can get directly into her veins.
Exactly. Yeah, I've seen some pretty banging rain shafts, let me tell you. I have a whole gallery of them.
That is too funny. All right, so here is the calm before the storm.
In the heartland where the prairies meet the sky, there's a state untouched by the tornado sighs. Ohio, you've never felt its wrath before, but sometimes I wonder if you're missing something more. No twisters in Ohio, no fury in the breeze, just gentle winds that whisper through the trees. But in the calmest moments, I long for something wild, a storm to sweep me up and shake me like a child.
Yeah, so the thing that really sticks out to me about that song, two things really. First of all, I'm not a country music fan, so I couldn't really enjoy that one. But
Oh,
also, the last line where it talks about shaking me like a child,
Hey everyone, Kay here from Rough Skies Ahead and Chaser Chat. I wanted to give a quick shout out to the new Chaser Chat YouTube page, where you can find all your favorite episodes uploaded in video form with a transcription to follow along with. The link is in the podcast description.
you're probably wearing clothes right now, and I know you like listening to podcasts. Why not combine the two and support the show? Head over to chaserchat.com or click the link in the podcast description, and you'll find all sorts of items like t-shirts, hoodies, beanies, ball caps, coffee mugs, and more. And if none of that sounds good, at least buy a freaking sticker. It's only $3. Visit the merch store today and support the podcast by going to chaserchat.com or clicking the link in the podcast description. That
killed me.
seems
It
like a
killed
crime. That seems like a crime. That is like, what is it talking about?
that part. Literally, like the whole song was like, okay, and then the ending was just like, what? Where did that come? It all went together, and then that part was like, just gave the AI part away.
It did, and also there's all that talk about, is AI going to take over and eliminate humans? And there it is, like already slipping in a little violence at the end of the song. I don't know. a
They're
little
talking
unnerving
about
as far as
shaking baby syndrome.
it's messed up. Let me tell you, it's messed up.
That's so fun. That's my favorite part, though, just because it's like crazy.
Yeah, it just throws you for a loop. Okay, we're going to take a trip to a slightly different genre now. This one is called Weatherman's Hype. It is like a bombastic gangster rap song, something you might have heard in like the 90s out of Los Angeles or something like that. I don't know. I think it's really cool. And it is based around the idea that weather weenies on Twitter can be absolutely insufferable sometimes, which I think is something that we can all relate to.
Weatherman screaming about a thunderstorm swarm. Little drizzle, not a crisis, ain't no need to feel alarmed. Puffing up their words, chicken little in the yard. Forecast fiction like they trying to hustle hard. Social feed flooding all these doomsday predictions. Weatherman wildin' like it's film science fiction. Sky barely sprinkles, but they're pressing on the panic. Real gangsta no drip a drop, ain't frantic. Sky's falling, they rolling in their tweets. Drama on repeat, spinning broken beats. Hype beast forecasters, they don't pull stunts. Storms are just shadows, echoes, fronts. Seen it on the gram, lightning, hail, and flood. Weatherman's a poet, second clicks and blood. Post that apocalypse, sitting on their hot seats. Real gangsters roll, knowing nature can't be beat. Fables of frozen tundras, hurricane roots. Scrolling down the timelines, hyping up the brutes. Storm chasing legends, selling tales of fright. Caught in their clout, trust the hood, silent night. Cold fronts, heat waves, they all get played. Forecast forming all about the charade. Seasons change constant, but they crowd wolf loud. Gangsters ain't fools, steady standing proud.
What really threw me for a loop about this one is I love the aggression. Like that first line, Weatherman screaming about a thunderstorm swarm, little drizzle, not a crisis, ain't no need to feel alarmed. Puffing up they words, chicken little in the yard, forecast
That
fiction
part.
like they're trying to hustle hard. That goes hard, Rosie. That goes really hard.
The chicken little part. You're right. That one does go hard. That one, you just need some bass with that one. You could jam out to that one. But the chicken little
Puffing up
part.
they words, chicken little in the yard, forecast fiction like they trying to hustle hard. It's incredible.
Oh my goodness. Yes, that one's a banger for sure. And it's hype. Gets you hype.
Now, the last one that you're introducing here, Rosie, is one that is special because you and I have a running inside joke that's been going on for a couple of years now.
Oh, this one's my favorite one. I love it. And there was a meme and a thing that goes around talking about when your girlfriend says, would you still love me if I was a worm? And me and Gab just have a joke about that. So I had to make a song about it. What do you think of the song?
I think the song is incredible. And just to expand on what you were saying about the joke about the worm, it's really funny because for a while there, we just sent each other like worm memes, and some of the worm memes were unbelievably funny. My favorite is the one where we got the name Wormantha instead of Samantha. And
That's what you called me forever.
In the eye of the storm, I'm just a worm, lost and tossed in the vortex. Thoughts reform, spinning in circles, emotions out of control. The chaos surrounds me, but the loneliness takes its toll. I was crawling on the ground, content with my life, when a tornado came and caused all the strife. Now I'm caught in its grip, can't escape its wrath. I'm just a tiny worm in the aftermath.
Just a tiny worm caught in the aftermath. I love how short, sweet, and to the point that song is.
I remember when I first sent that to you, that part, we literally laughed forever. I'm just a tiny worm in the aftermath. Hilarious. They always just put something crazy at the end.
The better question here, Rosie, is would you still love me if I was a worm in a tornado? Oh, wow. You have to think about it. Okay. Anyways. Wow. All right. Podcast is over. Call the whole thing off.
You're just a tiny worm in the aftermath.
Last song that we have for you here is...
Oh, yes. A banger.
So the last song that we have for all of you is my personal favorite. It doesn't have anything to do with weather or storm chasing, but it's actually the whole reason that Rosie and I found out about all of these AI generating music apps, because Rosie, you and I were talking about an article where apparently there are sex robots that are starting to be created that are actually threatening to make obsolete females at some point in the future. And you and I were discussing this, and I just wanted to assure you and make sure you knew that there's no way anyone was ever going to be able to replace people like you with robots. We have the song Rosie Irreplaceable now to thank for that.
Go.
Every time she walks into the room, my heart skips a beat. I'm consumed with her fiery eyes and her devilish smile. Rosie's got a style that drives me wild. try, but they can't replace Rosie. She's got a fire burning deep inside of me. No synthetic touch can match or embrace Rosie's got a love that can't be erased.
So from an aesthetic standpoint, that's actually my favorite one because it's closest to like the music I listen to in my everyday life. From a content standpoint, just pure gold.
I know. It's so funny. Like in our conversation, like the whole like situation with that was already literally hilarious before you made that, and it just put the icing on the cake.
It absolutely did. And so what a fitting way to end the podcast. Sex robots may try, but they cannot replace Rosie, no matter what they do.
I love it. It's such a reassuring song. I'll never forget it. I save it forever for when that scenario comes.
It's like better than being given flowers on Valentine's Day, right? Like now you have the peace of mind into the future to know that no matter what happens with AI and technology, you're going to be safe.
Yep. And also, I'll be safe anyways because I'm going to carry a bucket of water. Remember?
Oh, you're going to short circuit the robot.
Heck yes, I am. The bitches may
That is a good
try,
place.
but
That is a good place for us to end it. Thank you all very much for joining Rosie and I here on this little trip as we DJ'd for you. We'd really like it if you would actually play around with this app and generate your own songs and then send them to us. Tag us both, tag Chaser Chat. We'd love to listen to your creations. Yeah, get on that, and hopefully we'll be hearing from you on social media. Rosie, thanks again for joining me.
yep, bye guys.
Thanks for listening. If you're not already subscribed, hit that button right now and then make sure notifications are turned on so you never miss an episode again. There are lots of ways to show your support for Chaser Chat. You can pick up something from the merch store, leave a rating and a review on your favorite podcast app, leave a comment and a like on YouTube, or just share the link to this episode on your preferred social media platform. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you on the next episode.